Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am back. It's been quite a adventurous last few weeks, but we are back. We are Big Brat Summer. It is SummerSlam recap. We just finished night two of SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer. You can call it what you want it, but it is the second biggest PLE of the year. I am your host, Brat Jackson. I am so happy to be back. We had a little lull period in July, but now the August month is heating up, and I'm back. We're gonna be back with the regular Brat Said That on Tuesday. I got so much to talk about on that show, but tonight is specifically for SummerSlam recap. Yes, everybody loves SummerSlam. Happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota, U.S. Bank Stadium. Let's see, night one, 36,683. 33,086 night two, and combined 69,769 people. What a good event it was. Let's talk about it. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I had a great time watching it. I was thankfully I got to watch it last night while it happened live, and tonight while it happened live, and it's just we're back. I haven't done this in a while. I hope everybody's doing good. Man, I've been telling you the last few weeks that you want to stick in and watch Tuesday's show, because I'm telling you, Tuesday's show has a lot to talk about. But let's get to SummerSlam. Hope everybody's doing good. Got the microphone, testing 1, 2. Let's make sure we're live on the Facebook. It was overall very good. Very, very, very good card. I can't complain. I can't say bad things. Night 2, definitely much better than night 1. But let's start with night 1. Let's go back to yesterday. In the opening match, you have Liv Morgan for the first time in 100 days defend her Women's Championship against the Queen of the Ring, Io Sky, in a rematch from Queen of the Ring when Io won it and then earned this shot to Liv for SummerSlam. And the winner and still Women's Champion, Liv Morgan. I don't understand it. Okay, you have this whole tournament. I know that if you have the King of the Ring, you don't automatically have to win the World Championship. But you have Owen win the King of the Ring, to give up this championship to face Brock. And now you have Io making it all the way to Liv after beating her, earning the Queen of the Ring title shot, SummerSlam title shot. And you have Liv win, and you have Io lose. It doesn't make sense, but I don't know. That was the first little thing I didn't like. I didn't like it, so bounce that down to a little bit. But still. Oh, by the way, let's just say one thing before the show started. I didn't get to see this, but the national anthem was sang by the future owner of the WWE. Yes, one of Triple H's and Stephanie McMahon's daughter. I heard she did a great job. So I don't remember what Claire or Murphy or Aurora, one of those three, did a great job. So it's going to be looking forward to you taking over the company in 20 years with your sisters and your cousins. But then we got LA Knight, Solo Sikoa and Royce Keys. They defeated the Bloodline, Jacob, Jimmy, and Jay. Listen, this is funny. Solo is coming out to his own. He is making a name for himself. In the middle of the match, the Solo did a little Jey Uso, runner back, yeet. So he's showing his personality. I thought LA Knight was going to turn on Jacob or turn on Solo at the end, but he didn't do it, which makes sense because later in the show, you don't want to do the same spot twice. But this was perfect. LA Knight moves on, Solo Sikoa moves on, and Royce Cube moves on. A little bit of, Bloodline loses, but, they're still the Bloodline. They're still on top. Acknowledge your tribal chief. Gunther versus Nick Aldis. Yes. Nick Aldis' first match in 3 years. Looked great. Came out great theme. Looked great. Mickey James was in his corner, outside the barricade, but supporting her husband, Nick Aldis. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, Nick Aldis, he's going to get hurt. Nick Aldis is younger than half of the roster, okay? He's only 39, which is insane to see how much he's accomplished. Looked great. Gunther looked great. I know those two, they love those two, just go out there and wrestle. That's what they did. They went out there, wrestled, technical match, but Gunther makes Nick Aldis tap out. But still, that is my style of wrestling. I love it. Well, cherry on top. Dream match for me. Excuse me. But it just perfect. It was perfect. Gunter moves on. Why did I say move on? Yeah, Gunter wins. It looks good. I'm sure he'll get back in the title picture. Then we have a little shocker, a little shocking upset. Fatal Influence. JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Laney Reed defeated the Bella Twins. You can look, but you can't touch. Nikki and Brie and Paige by pinfall. So this is what I was talking about. Why I was shocked LA Knight didn't turn on Solo, because the Bella Twins turned on Paige. Yes, the Bella Twins took out Paige with their twin magic and said, "Hey, you're not fraternal, so you're not part of this group." And that's why you don't do the same spot twice. And Nikki and Brie, I guess they're heels. Paige, I guess she's the face. But good win for Fatal Influence. Why do I keep saying attraction? Good win for them. I was going to say they move on. What did they move on to? They move on to Live Another Day. So, perfect. I think they are the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. So, that showed that they can take the championships to the next level, which is great. Then we have CM Punk coming out in a Minnesota North Stars outfit, the green and the yellow and the white. I saw this on Twitter. No true Chicago Blackhawks fan would do that, but still, this ain't about sports today. We're going to talk about sports on Tuesday. CM Punk came out, and Cody Rhodes loses, not the WWE champion for, I think, the 4th time. Because why? Because who slithered in the ring? Yes, Randall Keith Orton came out from the crowd, slithered in the ring, hit Cody Rhodes with the best finishing move in the game, the RKO, giving CM Punk the win, and CM Punk retained the WWE Championship. Now, this match was good. See, we used to complain a lot, back in April, that the matches were too short. But Liv and Io, 13 minutes. 6-man tag, 11. Gunter Aldis, 11. 6-woman tag, 7.5. This match was 30 minutes. 30 minutes and 10 seconds. But, a lot of not botch spots, but a lot of messy spots. CM Punk's age is kind of getting up to him. But still, good match. Wasn't the main event. You would think, Brat, was that the main event? Was that it? No. The main event was the Hell in a Cell. Oba family versus Brock Lesnar, and they tore the cell down. Not literally, that would have been cool. But Oba family defeated the Beast Brock Lesnar, and at the end, Brock Lesnar got on the microphone. I always get scared when Brock gets on the microphone because you never know what he can say. But he said, this guy is the next big thing. Not literally, that would be a lot better. But he passed the torch to Oba. Oba defeated Brock with Paul Heyman. Now, it wasn't like a retirement segment. You would think because they're in Minneapolis, that's Brock Lesnar's, somewhat hometown. I know he was born in South Dakota, but still, you would figure, hey, I'm going to do what I did at WrestleMania. But I think there's still Brock more to be seen. I think he needs to get that Saudi, well, he doesn't need it, but I think he's going to get that Saudi Arabia WrestleMania money, if you know what I mean. But overall, night one very well. About the matches, Hell in a Cell was good. 1 point, Brock took off the canvas, took off the tarp, took off the padding, and it was just the exposed boards. And he hit Oba with the tombstone. Yes, the tombstone. Oba kicked out. Oba kicked out about 13 F5s, okay? At the end, I was getting dizzy just watching it, but it was great. And at the end, Oba, I don't know if he was supposed to hit Brock with the fall from heaven or fall from grace, whatever you call it, on the exposed boards. They missed it. It would have looked a lot cooler. It would have made more sense, but still, Oba looked great. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Oba does next. Now, I know he relinquished his King of the Ring championship match at SummerSlam, but maybe let's see if he's going to do it at Survivor Series in Houston or what. But Oba family's going to main event WrestleMania one year. Oba family's going to be a WWE World Heavyweight Champion one day. The Punk Cody Rhodes match, kind of sloppy. A lot of, CM Punk went for the elbow drop to Cody off, the top through the table, landed on his feet. went for a really bad moonsault. That's why some people think CM stands for crooked moonsault. He doesn't really have a great moonsault. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to Cody and Randy coming again in the future. Not rated RK Roads, none of that stuff. The 6-woman tag match was good, basic. Put over Fatal Influence, divide Brie and Nikki and Paige. So we'll see how that happens. I would love to see, a Paige face run, see how she's going to do against the Bella Twins. Gunther and Nick Aldis. That was, like I said, that was a great match. That was my style of wrestling. Technical, on the mat. I was like, oh, you're not going to see any top rope moves. Nick Aldis threw like 2 elbow drops off the top. But if you haven't seen Nick Aldis in NWA as the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, go watch it. He's phenomenal. He's great. And like I said, that 6-man tag match, great personality-wise. LA Knight always does his thing. Solo is coming out to his own. And Royce Keys, give Royce Keys a huge win like that. Bloodline, they'll bounce back. And Liv Morgan and Io Sky, what's next for that? Honestly, that the Women's World Championship, a lot of W's in that one. It's kind of like Liv Morgan only defended it once in 100 days. Technically, that's not her fault. She doesn't book the shows. But still, if you're going to make Liv Morgan the champion, do more with her. Liv more defenses. That's what her last name should be. Liv more defenses. But overall, night 1 was good. It was good. Out of 10, I'll give it a 7. But that is really good. Better than night 1 of WrestleMania. That's what I'll tell you. SummerSlam did great. By the way, I like the setup. We always big on setups. They showed all the entrances. They showed, the crowd. Green shirt guy was in the front row. Chris Van Vliet was in the front row. Other people were in the front row because they can afford it. But yeah, great show. Night 1. Let's go to night 2. Just ended just not even 5 minutes ago. And wow. Before I get to night 2, at the end of night 1, Nick Aldis was talking to, I think it was Jackie Redmond or Kathy Kelly. And Triple H comes in and he's like, Nick Aldis, you're great. And Nick Aldis like, thanks. Here's my resignation for the SmackDown general manager. And then Triple H kind of had a little struggle to rip it up. He's like, you're good. Just stop beating up wrestlers. You're back to being the SmackDown general manager. So good for Aldis to go back to that. But then night 2 begins, and I kind of dozed off on the couch because I was working early, waking up early. And then I hear Nick Aldis come out. Finn Balor comes out. Sami Zayn comes out because they're going to have a one-on-one. And then Nick Aldis comes out. He's like, you know what? I added another person to this match. And out comes Gunther. Yes, Gunther comes out after defeating Nick Aldis in night 1. They shake hands, and you think it's going to be a triple threat match for the number 1 contendership for the WWE Championship. But then Nick Aldis is like, wait, another one, right? And I'm waiting for it. And Kevin Owens made his return. Yes, after the neck surgery, after his career looked to be over, Kevin Owens is back. And he is now the new number 1 contender for the WWE Championship by pinning Sami Zayn. Wow. Chef's kiss, 10 out of 10. 200 out of 10. It was great to see Kevin Owens come back. It was great to see Gunther do what Gunther does too. And with Kevin pinning Sami, this is what I think should happen. If Brat books, you would have Kevin Owens become WWE Champion at Money in the Bank. Him versus CM Punk in the future, I can't wait. Mind blown. Kevin Owens becomes WWE Champion. Sami Zayn wins Money in the Bank. Sami cashes in on Kevin, and then that leads to Kevin versus Sami at WrestleMania. Book it. Triple H, I just gave you off the next 6 months. Don't worry, I'll take it over. But wow, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Gunther, Sami Zayn. What a great combination. What a great fatal 4-way. What a great match to open up the show. Four of the best wrestlers of all time. I mean, yes. What an opener. What an opener. Check that box off. Great opener. And then the second match, WWE United States Championship. Trick Williams with Little Yachty taking on Baron Corbin. And we have a new WWE United States Champion. I was shocked by this. Baron Corbin, after returning for not being around WWE for years, he is the new WWE United States Champion. Little Yachty, clap to Little Yachty for taking a table bump. This man doesn't need to. This man does not need to take any table bumps or kendo stick shots. But good for them. Good for Trick. Gives him a good title reign. Gives him a chance to chase the title now. Baron Corbin, once again, WWE United States Champion. You remember he won it way back in 2017, 2016. But good for Corbin. Good for Trick. Another box checked off. But then the next match you had a 5-way women's ladder match for the interim WWE United Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley is a women's champion. She's hurt. But I don't think interim counts in wrestling. I think interim titles are dumb. Chelsea Green versus Charlotte Flair versus Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton versus Last Legend. Okay? And I was excited. You know, Charlotte and Jade, they've been going at it. This gives Lash a chance to kind of get in her own spot. And, of course, Tiffany time. She is a women's United States champion. But we have a new interim WWE Women's Champion. And it is this girl right here. The one, the only, Chelsea Green. Yes, Chelsea Green. After all the years of struggles, the injuries, the not being held down, but not giving that shot, not showing who Chelsea Green is. She literally climbed the ladder and is now the interim WWE Women's Champion. As you guys know, she is my favorite female wrestler. I am so happy for her. So happy for Matt Cardona. Kind of poetic that Matt Cardona won the Intercontinental Championship by climbing the ladder. And now Chelsea is the interim WWE Women's Champion. It kind of got me baffled because, like, it was a really cool spot. Chelsea's climbing the ladder. All other four are outside of the ring because Tiffy, she did a moonsault on top of them. And like, go Chelsea, go Chelsea. Then B-Fab and Mishin come out. I forgot they were with Jade. Takes out Chelsea and we're like, no, come on. I literally got a little heated and pissed. But then, you know, Charlotte came out, beat him up. Tiffany came out, beat him up. And then, it was crazy because Chelsea was like hanging like this on the ladder, right, with her legs on the rung. And then when she, like the ring cleared, she kind of hoisted herself up, climbed the ladder, took down the championship belt, and I'm looking forward to her as like her kind of not sneaky, but kind of like that little like the heel that doesn't want to like fight. She's gonna have to take on the Annihilator, Rhea Ripley. So that's gonna be a great match. I'm looking forward to Rhea coming back too. And then really the best match on the night, Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio. Human Money's on a pole match. The winner kept the U.S. $100,000 Danhausen sold from the Judgment Day. What can you say about this match? It was just Danhausen is a character. He is beloved in his household. Okay, he is. And Dominic Mysterio too. You know, he debuted. You know, he had his 21-year anniversary at SummerSlam this year. So it was good. The mini houses came out. El Toritohausen. Torito's great. I don't think we gave him the benefit, you know, because we remember him, El Torito, as a little matador for Diego and Fernando, I think they were called. But he is just a phenomenal wrestler. Doesn't matter how tall or short or tiny he is. Fantastic. He helped Danhausen because J.D. McDonough came out, caused, a scene. Beat up all the little mini houses. I felt really bad for them because I was like, come on, J.D. McDonough. Don't hurt the mini houses. But Danhausen, as Dominic was going to get the human monies, Danhausen said, you are cursed. The sparks came up. Dominic tumbled over, and Danhausen took the human monies off the pole and won that match. Now, I don't know if they're continuing the Miz storyline where he's, Zombie Miz or Kit Wilson, and whether it's Zombie Kit or Matt Cardona, whatever. But good for Danhausen. He got a win over J.D. McDonough. Got a win over Dominic Mysterio. I wanted to see what his creation is. We haven't Found that out. I don't know if that's supposed to be Cathausen, if that was the big payoff at Saturday Night's main event. But overall, Danhausen looking, and Dominic Mysterio, he'll bounce back. He's still the AAA Mega Champion, which I would love to go to. I think it's when Worlds Collide in September. Then this match I was looking forward to all weekend. Chad Gable in his hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota, taking on Penta for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. I was watching this with Babe, and I'm like, if Chad wins, it'd probably be a roll-up, 1, 2, 3 after a huge, long technical match. Kind of like, hey, I just beat you, but, I'm better than you. I won, but, not by submitting on Penta. He tapped on Penta. Right when I said I want to see Chad winning by submission, Penta taps out. That's the only thing I didn't like about this night, too, so far. Penta tapping out, I don't think you should, especially face versus face. That's like deep in the, behind the scenes kind of stuff. But Chad Gable, congrats to him. First singles championship inside of WWE. He's been with that company, with the Performance Center, NXT, since like 2013. So seeing what he's come for American Alpha and his career to be in the new WWE Intercontinental Champion. It was cute. His family came out. His mom and dad and his son. His son was dressed up as him, which I think is adorable. And overall, Penta, he will do great things. He'll bounce back and move on to, whatever's next. That, like I said, that Intercontinental Championship division, just like the United States division on SmackDown, is good. You got Ethan Page, you got the champ Chad, you got Penta, you got Rusev, you got Javon Evans. So, I'm surprised by the title changes. You got one title change. You got, of course, Chelsea Green. That's not a title change, but a title win. Chad Gable winning. So that's 3. And then, really, so that's it. Like 3 title changes on a 6-match card. By the way, main event, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. The Shield implodes. Chapter 47. Acknowledge your tribal chief because he is still your world heavyweight champion. Now, this whole match was just the history. The last 12 years, just everything about, Seth turning on the Shield, hitting Roman with the steel chair, Seth defeating Roman at the Rumble 2022, Seth defeating Roman at WrestleMania against CM Punk. Just everything. I really wanted to, and I know we couldn't see it because, let's be honest, we love to fictionalize, we love to fantasy book. I would have loved to see Moxley come out. Dean Ambrose, at least play the music. Do something. Come on. Just, even if it's a one-off, just give us what we want. Enough is enough. If you're going to do this Shield versus Shield, and I hate you and I love you, you're my big brother, you're my little brother, I'm better than you. Let's just get the 3 of them. They're all going to the Hall of Fame. Okay? Obviously, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, they're first ballot Hall of Famers, even though they don't do ballots in WWE. But honestly, Roman and Seth and Dean, as the Shield, should just they need to do one last thing. It's good to see Roman and Seth talk about the Shield. It's good to see them battle each other. They've been friends and off friends and hate, for 12 years. But you're missing the third man of the equation, and that is Dean Ambrose. So listen, Tony Khan, AEW, Nick Khan, WWE, no relation, Triple H, work something out. Just get Dean Ambrose to show up once. Just once. But that match was great. There was pedigrees, there was stomps, there was Superman punches, there was table spots. One table they go through the Spanish announce table, and Babe is like, oh, poor Spanish announce table. I was like, yeah, that's wrestling history. The Spanish announce table always gets it worse. But it was a really good match. 33 and a half minutes. We talk about WrestleMania, how it was so quick. All the matches were quick. Let's see. Kevin, Finn, Gunter, Sammy, 8.5. Good. They could have been still wrestling, and I'll still watch it. Baron and Trick, 9 and 9. a little over 9 minutes. Good for a title match. The ladder match, 13. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Danhausen, Dominic, 6. That's all you really needed. But listen, I don't think you should really rest on how good of a wrestler Danhausen is. Now I know he's goofy with you're cursing, but that was really good. But he is a great wrestler. Chad and Penta went 11. I can watch them go on back and forth for another 20 minutes. And the main event, 33.5. So, but night 2 gave you pretty much everything you wanted. The Kevin Owens surprise, chef's kiss. Gunther coming out, big surprise. Corbin winning the United States Championship, huge surprise. Chelsea winning. Finally, we got Chelsea Green as the women's champion. Good for her. Danhausen and Dominic. We all saw Danhausen winning that match. Chad winning in his hometown. Perfect. And Roman and Seth. Honestly, it was perfect. That was whole storyline driven. And those two are going to battle until the end of time. So overall, I've never done this before. But honestly, the only thing I did not like, and this is me nitpicking, this is me being around wrestling for the majority of my life. I didn't like seeing Penta tap out, but I gotta give Night 2 SummerSlam like a 9.5. And that's just me being picky about one thing. So, honestly, it might be, and that might go down as event of the year when Brat said that. Brat, what was it? Year-end award. Brat said that year-end award. So Brat said that, yeah. But overall, 9.5. Night 2 was like a 7. Because I didn't like Liv going over EO. And the Punk Cody Rhodes match was sloppy. And Ober and Brock could have done a little bit more. But that is nitpicky. But overall, what a great SummerSlam. What a great event that was. We're going to talk a little bit more about SummerSlam. Probably talk about another 10 minutes before I get off. This is not like a Brat said that, so we don't have to go on for an hour. We do come back on Tuesday for Brat said that. I got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about the MLB trade deadline. We got to talk about all the happenings in wrestling still. We recap SummerSlam, we recap Raw. We are going to talk about my jury duty. Yes, I did a week of jury duty last week. Tune in for that. Because that is going to be just, if you want to hear a story of, jury duty, just tune in. We're going to talk all about that. But overall, SummerSlam 2026. Let's check the internet. Let's see what everybody's saying. Let's see. I'm not logged in Twitter on this laptop. I got my second laptop. Brat said that. I think I'm logged in. Let's see. But let me know what your favorite match was of SummerSlam. Also too, I gotta give a shout out to my amazing coworker Natalie for switching with me. I was supposed to work 12 to 8 today. I was like, Natalie, please. I'll work 7 to 2. I'll wake up early. I'll come to work early just so I can get off and watch SummerSlam. She said, of course. So, thank you, Natalie. I will get you your Starbucks that I promised you. But overall, on Twitter, everything looks like it's good. Hope everybody had a good time at Comic-Con. Not Comic-Con. WrestleCon. Chelsea. You mean Chelsea Green? World champion? Chelsea Green is world champion. Chad Gable is Intercontinental champion. Good day for people with an initial CG. Joey Fresh, tell me what you thought of SummerSlam. By the way, it was Vaughn Evelyn Levesque who sang the national anthem. That I think it's Triple H's second daughter. But obviously, Baron Corbin, I see that he got the picture with Triple H. Now it's time to get rid of that fuzzy championship. We're just going on Twitter, seeing what everybody's talking about. WWE fans hate on AEW for finish matches, but then praise WWE for the same thing. So here's the thing. Somebody would say that AEW would do that on the first match of the show, second match of the show, sixth match of the show. WWE just did that on the main event between two of the best that they have for the World Heavyweight Championship. So I don't want to hear that. Oba is the future. Now, I would have liked to see Oba. That was the dishwasher. That doesn't work. I would have liked to see Brock give Oba his gloves. Like, hey, you're next. But Oba, I don't know how old Oba is, but he's going to main event WrestleMania. He's going to be literally the next big thing. And I'm looking so forward to that. I want to see Oba versus Roman. I want to see Oba versus Punk. But we're going to get CM Punk versus Kevin Owens. Wow. We can sit there and we can complain about this and that, but the pieces of the puzzle, the end of 2026, is looking really good. We got Money in the Bank. Like I said, give it to Sammy. Give it to Sammy. Give Kevin Owens the WWE Championship, Money in the Bank. Sammy wins the Money in the Bank, cashes in on KO, and then KO Sammy end their careers at WrestleMania in Saudi. That's what I say. But, wow. So, all the family is only 20. I'm 38, so he's 28. So, he's got still a good chunk of wrestling left. Already won the NXT Championship, King of the Ring. And it's looking good. So, yes, Oba is the future. KO versus Punk is in the future. So, what is next? We will see. I am excited for so much. Can't wait for Raw. I know, let's see. Okay, so Kevin Owens did give a shout out to Rebel, who is dealing with ALS. So praise to her. Hopefully everything holds up for her. I know ALS is horrible. But other than that, SummerSlam to me, a great, great show. Great event. Can't wait for them to, can't wait for Survivor Series in Houston. We'll do a Survivor Series recap then. Money in the Bank is in October, so we got a couple months before that happens. What happened with Roman, I didn't see. It was just 33 minutes of them going back and forth, trying to prove who the best Shield member is. After a failed top stomp by Seth, Roman hits him with his sixth spear or his third Superman punch or his 15th pedigree, just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. No Zilla. No Bloodline, no Vision, none of that. Just two greats going at it, trying to prove that they are the, acknowledge your tribal chief, because that's really what it is. But, by the way, that Gable winning the Intercontinental Championship and then immediately getting celebrated with the mug root beer dog was weird. I thought that was going to be like El Grande Americano or somebody, but yeah, that was weird. That was a little weird. But overall, SummerSlam, 10 out of 10. We will be back Tuesday, like I said. Come back, episode 77. And I know we were in a little lull period. We would have put up 4 shows last week or last month. We're back twice a week, every single week. We're going to be back Tuesday, and we'll be back on Friday. So, overall, hope everyone had a great day. Let's just recap SummerSlam real quick. Just short video, this recap video, so let's see. SummerSlam took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota, We got Liv Morgan defeating Io Sky, retaining the Women's Championship. Am I going to AEW? No, I need to go anywhere else than AEW. I don't know. No, no. I'm so distant from AEW that I don't even watch it. Fuck Tony Schiavone. Liv Morgan defeated Io Sky. LA Knight, Solo Sikoa and Royce Keys defeated the Bloodline. Gunter taps out Nick Aldis. Fatal Influence defeated the Bellas of Paige. Bellas kicked Paige out of the little group. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. Punk retained the WWE Championship in a very sloppy match. And overproved that he is the next big thing by defeating Brock Lesnar in Hell in a Cell. And then night 2, Kevin Owens' shocking return defeated Finn Balor, his best friend Sami Zayn, and Gunter after Nick Aldis brought him back. Nick Aldis is still now the SmackDown General Manager. Baron Corbin, new United States Champion after defeating Trick Williams. Now you don't have to see that fuzzy United States Championship belt. Chelsea Green, best part of the night, is the interim, but to me, she is the real World Women's Champion. This dishwasher is about to take the job. Danhausen defeated Dominic Mysterio. He has 100,000 human monies. Chad Gable, new Intercontinental Champion. And Roman proved that is why he is the OTC. So, I know it was just a quick recap video, but a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a whole lot of Brat. So, we return Tuesday. Come check out Tuesday's show. We got so much to talk about. I got to tell you about my jury duty. When the fuck did Baron Corbin come back, honestly? Came back a few weeks ago. I think Triple H is very high on him, and that is why he is the United States Champion. But I'm going to get off right now. Check me out. Follow me. YouTube, Brat Said That Tube. Twitter, Brat Said That X. Subscribe. I'm not giving up on this. Okay? So, love yourself. Love each other. Love SummerSlam. And I will see you guys Tuesday around 3 o'clock Pacific time. Alright. Good night.